Just talk about the big series coming up at Colorado College, Coach.
Yeah, obviously another big weekend coming up here, and but exciting weekend too. Playoff hockey is always an exciting time, and I know the guys are looking forward to it. So we're excited to get on the road here and get ready for Friday night.
It was on this day 4 years ago that you guys were headed out to Colorado the last time for a playoff series, and of course COVID shut the world down. Do you give that any thought as you head out there for this, or is it just, clean slate?
Yeah, probably too much going on in my mind to think back too far. So just kind of, clean slate and another series here and trying to stay kind of the exact same way we've been praying for all our series here the last 2 months and stay focused and making sure we're prepared fully for Colorado College.
How much momentum from last weekend can you carry over into this weekend?
Yeah, well, it was such a special weekend last weekend there to have senior night and to have the team play like we did against North Dakota at home in a sold-out building. So lots to draw on from that weekend, right? Lots of positivity, lots of great moments to reflect on, and then now it's time to kind of move on to the next challenge. So, but lots of momentum. You could tell the groups built some confidence off that weekend here that we'll take into this weekend.
You have this team has depth in goaltending now, doesn't it? That was something else, wasn't it? To have Seth step in the way he had to in a critical game, of course.
Yeah, I think great teams are like that. I think great teams, it's always a different person that's stepping up at a different time, and I think we've seen that throughout the year where we have that one or two people that step up at different times to contribute to a big win, and Seth did just that on Saturday night. Lots of illness going around with the group, so it was great for him to feel good and be ready to play and perform that well. So just so happy for him. I think it was on Tuesday in practice. I was watching him, and I just really thought, obviously we probably weren't planning on starting him during the weekend, but I just remember thinking to myself, man, this guy just has really improved throughout the year, and sure enough, he gets the start on Saturday and does well. So that just goes to show. That's why you're always preparing, always getting better, and you never know when your opportunity is going to come.
Augustana coach Garrett Robang had said earlier in the season that all 4 Omaha lines play the same way, and that makes you guys really hard to defend against.
Mm-hmm.
How have you gotten the guys to buy into what you've been preaching all season long? Because it really seems like it's coming together.
Yeah, well, first off, that's a nice compliment to get from an opposing coach when your team's playing a certain way consistently. That's what you want to see as a coach, and so, but exactly that. I think that's just part of our identity. I think we have some great individuals on the team, but we're also most importantly a great team, and I think that really drives that. When guys are cheering for each other, guys are supporting each other, guys are playing to a certain identity and a game plan. That's what's made us successful. And I think when you look back at the last 8 weekends, I think the guys have really seen that be successful. They know when we do things a certain way that we're being successful. So that's been reinforced, and when that happens, good things usually tend to happen.
None other than Lukasz Bukta talking to Butchie the other day, mentioned in his inimitable style, mentioned the fact that he was impressed with the system of the Mavs. He saw the games this past weekend, and how would you describe that system? Certainly, it seems defense and back checking first, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, first off, it's great to see Bukta back here. Anytime you see a former player, it's always exciting and very complimentary for him to describe our team play like that. And again, I think what's the one unique thing about this team is we've been able to adapt a little bit of our system and our identity a little bit based on our opponent. And I think you have to do that when you're in such a strong league. So I think it's the fact that you can kind of mold it a few different ways is really important. But without giving away too much detail, it's like you said, you gotta defend hard, you gotta work hard, and I think that's been a staple of our programs for a long time. And then ultimately, you have to really be good with your decision making. And when you can do that consistently, usually good things happen, and you get described as a smart hockey team, which is a great compliment to get.
When you look back at this North Dakota series, you've looked at the film, what do you feel like it was that made your team so successful this past weekend just based on their play?
I thought our details were excellent. I think, that was one thing we tried to really enforce even on Monday with the little game review was just look at our details here, just look on how we're playing the game, look at our commitment away from the puck. And those things are difficult to do. So I think the more you can reinforce that behavior you want to see more of, the better off you're going to chance to see it again. So, but really excellent details, really good commitment to the game plan.
You mentioned those details and that commitment. How much does that culture come from the leadership of your seniors and your grad students?
Yeah, absolutely. I think anytime you have your top guys and you're demonstrating those things on a daily basis, and it's hard not to do those things. And I think you got to have it if you want to be an elite team. You have to have your top players, your leaders be your hardest workers, be your best role models, and I think that really translates to the rest of the team. And we have just that. We've got obviously with Nolan Sullivan and Jack Randall and Matt Miller and even Jesse Lansdale and Kirby Proctor and Victor Mancini and Ty Mueller, all those upperclassmen. If you just kind of watch how they act on a day-to-day basis, it's not surprising that everybody's getting better. So it's a lot of respect for those guys and how they operate.
Coach Tanner Lutke making the all-rookie team. Just talk about what Tanner's meant to the team and also his brother Griffin.
Yeah, just awesome for T to get nominated for all-rookie team and to make it there. And I think just goes to show just how much he's grown throughout the season there too. And he's played a big role really from day one with us and just continues to get better. And I'm really impressed with T. I think he's a guy that, as a head coach, sometimes you got to have tough conversations with younger guys to show them what you expected of them. And I think I told him one time, it's just like your parents, right? Some of the greatest form of love is accountability. And when you have elite players like that, they don't always love to hear some of the hard coaching. And you know what? And he's been awesome at that. He always listens and he's coachable and he takes the feedback and he might not instantly like it, but in the long term, when you just watch how he develops, it's no surprising that he's on the all-rookie team and where he's at. So he's got a special ability with the puck and as a special player and just keeps getting better. And I've really enjoyed coaching him this season, just watching him develop both on and off the ice. And same with his brother, right? He's obviously having a great season as well. And so it's nice to see both those guys having such good success.
How about that rookie team? That's just the rookie team in
For
the
sure.
conference. That's an impressive group. Wow.
Yeah, no, it just goes to speak to the level of talent in the conference. When you guys just got a chance to watch some of North Dakota's, they got 5-6 guys that could probably be on the first or second team all NCHC, and so it's it's an impressive conference, lots of good players.
Any other questions?
I guess just real quick, looking forward to the CC this weekend. You guys just played them. Is that an advantage, disadvantage that you know them really well, if they also know how you guys play very recently?
Yeah, I think it's an advantage, and I think it's the same for both teams, and obviously 2 very close games there. So I'm sure it will be very similar to that at CC there. So I think it's we know what to expect, and I'm sure they know what to expect, and we're making little tweaks. I'm sure they're making little tweaks, so it should be a good series coming up here.